Welcome back to Leading Life. Today, we have a special guest here that I met on YouTube. I'm with my buddy Duncan. We're going to talk about habits.
Welcome to Leading Life, the show all about living to the fullest and leading life on your terms.
You will learn tips, tools, and strategies for achieving total personal transformation.
I'm Brent.
And I'm Cam.
This is Leading Life.
What up, our listeners, faithful live viewers and everything. I appreciate all you guys for sticking around and watching this podcast. Today, he's not the special guest, by the way. I made it seem like he was a special guest, but he's not. Well, you're special. No, you're special, man. We had Duncan in on a motivation mastermind call, which was cool. And I forget what we talked about there, but there were some funny jokes we were laughing about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been best friends with this guy since kindergarten, man. The bond, it's real. So today we have a special guest that I met on YouTube. This guy's doing positivity videos, like these cool little experiments. We had a podcast episode about little things that you should try, like experiments to kind of add on to your tool belt of becoming your greatest version. So yeah, I saw this guy's videos. I was instantly into it, man. Like, cause I can really connect with this guy because when I first started like this whole journey of trying to be the best I can be, I would do anything to just get better. Like I would take cold showers. I went vegan in a heartbeat. I did whatever I could to just get to that next level in life. Started reading. I sold my Xbox. Like I got rid of all the distractions and I was just experimenting with things. And ever since, it's just completely changed my life. So I could totally connect with him on that in that regard. So Hassan, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Very, very good, dude. Very good. So, I guess, like, I honestly know nothing about you. I know you're in college, and you work a job, and you do YouTube. So, like, tell us more about yourself, man.
Okay, well, I currently attend college. I'm in third year university right now. I'm going for my psych degree, so I'm going to be in college for at least another 6 years. I do work. I have a job. I work as a cook at a restaurant, and then in my spare time, I like to do YouTube videos, but that's the main goal. Like I want that to be a career I could do for my as our full-time job. But the psych degree is the plan B. So yeah, and like you said, it's just mainly experiment videos I do online just to see what are the best way to lead my life.
Absolutely. So, how did you start with all this? Was there like a moment where like you were in a dark place, or like did you go through some trial and error to finally be this kind of person that wants to become their greatest version? Like how did that start?
Well, there was no like initial thing that really kicked it into gear. I guess a lot of people kind of have this drive to just want to be the best version of themselves. You just kind of go about your life, and you can't. Like, for example, I do not like the idea of working like a 9-to-5 job, making like, garbage money. So I'm always looking for ways to enhance myself. So, I just started reading and then started learning about how to make more money, started learning how to do things differently. And I guess that just kind of sparked it with other things, not just money, but like health and like how what you did with the veganism thing. It just kind of sparks it in other aspects of your life. And then I've always wanted to make YouTube videos. So I guess it just kind of was a win-win. I was always good at filmmaking and editing. So I was like, bam, it was like a perfect situation for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I noticed like once you start seeing results in your life, you kind of get addicted to that feeling of like adding more on, right? Do you have any experience with this where like you finally decided like I want to be a better person, or I want to just kind of add on to my own personal value?
Well, yeah, after I got done high school, I just felt this empty now what kind of phase, and immediately I realized that I'm going to use this time to better myself. And Cameron introduced me to a speech done by a man by the name of Gary Jurovsky. I believe that's
Gary Jurovsky.
Jurovsky.
Yeah. The vegan guy.
Yeah, and he did a speech on veganism, and then he showed me a movie called Cowspiracy, and then right away it hit on with those two things I watched, it hit on the health aspect and the environmental aspect, and I consider myself a bit of a environmentalist in the simplest sense, but after I saw these two things, I immediately wanted to make a change for myself and for the planet, so I went ahead and made the change to veganism.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's badass, dude. It's not something that is easily done. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a big change,
To
especially
give
when
up cheese, no more pizza.
yeah, straight up. So yeah, like we all want more, we all want to be more, but a lot of us don't want to go through that struggle, or like we don't want to give up anything, we don't want to get out of our comfort zone. And
Yeah.
that's a big problem, right? We're all too comfortable, we don't want to change, or we do want to change, but if it's yeah,
it's a really bad habit.
yeah, exactly. So when it comes to habit forming, man, like what have you learned? Like what's the most essential part of habit forming?
Personally, I think efficiency is the most essential part of habit forming. Um, for example, people our age, right? I'm gonna assume you guys are in early 20s, right?
What's that? Sorry.
I'm gonna assume you guys are like early 20s.
No, we're both 18.
That's
Oh,
good.
wow. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's impressive. Okay. Well, okay. I work full time and then I go to school full time and then I have like a social life and then family. So to be able to build habits that are like gonna actually take me somewhere in life, they need to fit in somewhere. They need to be efficient for me. So that's why I think efficiency is the best thing. So let me give you like a quick example. Because I have this kind of crazy life, I'm always driving, I'm always going places. So I have like a little uh it's like a little thing, like a cooler, like a mini cooler. I used to keep like broccoli and kale and all kinds of like healthy fruits and veggies in there. And then as I'm driving, I'll just snack on like broccoli. And then I'll take it with me to work. So while I'm at work, I'll be snacking on broccoli. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm there making money while also eating vegetables while getting health.
Guys start snacking.
So it's a win-win situation. You're at work making money while you're also eating your veggies. So it's like you're getting health for your later on, which is also an aspect of wealth, and you're building a good habit. So it's all about that efficiency aspect for me.
Yeah, totally. Because at that point, like you're not really giving up anything. You're adding
Exactly.
broccoli into the mix. Like it's almost like you take the bus every day. You might as well just read a book on the bus. Or
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. So I totally get that too. I'm trying to think of a habit that I kind of formed like that. Here's another one. I do this thing called piss ups. They're kind of weird. I highly suggest it, to be honest. It sounds weird, obviously, the name. But basically, you take a piss. Everybody pisses. If you drink enough water, you're pissing
Right.
multiple times a day. And after you piss, it's kind of like a trigger in your mind. Hey, let's do push-ups. Or hey, let's do some pull-ups. Or let's do some sit-ups. Let's do some crunches. Anything to kind of get your metabolism, get your blood flowing right after you just got done pissing. And it's like a regular thing so that all day you've got your blood flowing and you're constantly building muscle.
Right.
And that really helps too, because like here's another like tip that I heard. When you work out like all day rather than like an hour during your day, you're getting like 10 times the amount of muscle, because they explained it like how farmers work like 16-hour days and they're jacked. Like they're just crazy because they're working out all day. Like it's kind of like you're watching TV, you're watching 6 hours of TV, you might as well do some crunches while you do it every now and then, or during commercials do some push-ups. You're not taking anything away, you're just kind of adding on to it. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
And then subconsciously you'll just start to want to do it. Like you'll use the bathroom and something in your mind will tell you, oh, I got to do push-ups.
Yeah, right away.
So it's like
Yeah.
on its own, you won't even have to like use any willpower to force yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like why am I not doing push-ups right now?
Exactly.
And yeah, that's how I feel about like before bed. I have to read a book. Either it's on my Kindle, on my phone, or if it's an actual book, I have to read before bed every day.
Right.
And
That's
I'm always
an
there.
amazing habit.
It is a good habit, yeah, man, because you sleep on it.
Amazing habit.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some habits that you've formed? Like some habits that you are like that you live this every single day now.
Yeah, like I religiously go to the gym. Like it's just I have a schedule where it's like a 5-2 split where I go 5 days, 2 days off. I religiously keep broccoli and kale and all kinds of veggies, like blueberries and all that kind of stuff, in my car and with me while I'm at work. I every morning I like to at least meditate for like 10 minutes. Although lately I have been slacking on that, but that's something I kind of want to, prep myself on. And then just on a personal note, like a real personal note, I just try really hard to avoid porn and any like pornography or sexual explicit images anywhere. So
Totally.
yeah, those are habits that I have been forming.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. And did you form all those habits at once, or were you just like
Oh
totally
God, no.
focused on one at a time? Like, how did that go?
No, God, no. Yeah, it's never all at once. It was always like a process. You just start with one thing, and then you learn about the next thing, and then the next thing leads to something else, and then you're like, oh, I should probably be reading, and then it's like, oh, I'll meditate, and it's like, oh, why not try eating some broccoli? Why not doing this? And then it's just you kind of pick them all up, and you have like a tool belt of awesome habits under you.
Totally, yeah. And with the tool belt of awesome habits, man, like that's how you create your like destiny. Like that's how you completely shape your world is by becoming a different person for sure. I like the example of
Yeah,
how does somebody lose weight when they're overweight? They become a healthy person today. That's all it is. They don't look like it yet,
yeah,
but they become it today, and they will eventually attract that body that they want, you know?
yep. Oh, it's a law of attraction.
Absolutely, yeah, the law of attraction for sure. So, habit forming. I'm trying to think of. There's a lot of people they don't
I
have a
think it
lot of.
was so funny that you pulled out a piece of broccoli earlier.
Can I have one?
Have broccoli?
Yeah, man. Thank you.
But one thing I did want to bring up was you were talking about the whole pornography thing, and those are some bad habits that we kind of pick up. And I wanted to talk about
Oh
how
yeah.
you counteract these bad habits.
Yeah,
Well, that's like one of the hardest ones because even like naturally speaking, through evolution, your brain has been programmed to release the most amounts of dopamine during sexual activities. So anytime you see it, it's almost like the hardest thing to fight, and that's why so many people are addicted. And it's kind of sad to see, but no one talks about it. But porn addiction is almost as bad, actually, if not even as bad as heroin addiction. You guys don't even know what goes on in your mind. And so that's why I try like vigorously hard to avoid that. And yeah, and not a lot of people talk about it.
hmm
yeah, totally. That
That
you
that's
don't
a,
hear
it's
about
a
that
huge
anymore.
thing.
Hmm.
And this is more of a a this is a thing that you do on your own time. But one thing I wanted to bring up when I heard Cameron bring up the topic of habits, he didn't specify good habits, bad habits, and immediately I thought, oh, I should vape throughout the entire thing. Because, right, I just got done quitting smoking, and I'm now relying
Oh
on
man,
my
that's
other
awesome.
source of nicotine. And one thing I wanted to talk about, because of this joke I made, was nicotine addiction or alcohol addiction, things like that, like little substances, you know?
Yeah, little stimulants.
Yeah, have you had any experience with that?
Uh, Not really. I guess my my addiction is food. Like I'm always kind of eating all the time. Like even if it's not even good food, it's like it's just like straight trash, like junk food. Like I made the pizza joke earlier. I was like, oh, without pizza, like that's that's a thing that's hard for me.
Oh yeah, dude.
Uh,
I totally agree because like I've recently started eating once a day, and it's tough. It's tough to
Once a
like,
day.
yeah, one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's like a fasting schedule to try and boost your human growth hormone secretions. I don't know if science. I
like
didn't. I
like an
would.
intermittent fasting or something.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Basically, you fast like 18 hours, and then for 4 hours you have time to eat, and the rest of the time you're
Okay.
not eating, just drinking water. I've
Yeah.
noticed it is the hardest discipline because I love food so much, and I've
Yeah.
noticed, dude, like food takes up time, takes up energy, and
Yeah.
but it releases dopamine, right? Time,
Yeah.
energy, but it releases that dopamine, man. And that's what we go for. That's what social media is all about, right?
Yeah,
That's what
that
YouTube's
dopamine.
about, like everything. And I realize like now that I eat once a day, I have so much time to do other things.
To do
Because
other
I'm
things.
vegan, I cook a lot, right? So like I'm spending so much time like, what spices am I gonna use? How am I gonna cook this casserole or whatever? And
Yeah.
yeah,
Aristotle actually used to do that because he was a philosopher and he said that he would go all day without eating sometimes just so he could focus on his philosophy. He said that it would enhance his brain and he'd be able to put together the pieces of life easier when he was fasting.
That makes sense. Yeah, man, because like
Yeah.
digestion being like one of the most energy consuming things that your body does turns food into like fingernails. It's ridiculous. So yeah, man, like it's nuts. Um,
Yeah.
so on the topic of bad habits, I saw this TED talk. You may have seen it. It's like about smoking, like quitting smoking. And this guy, he like runs this kind of rehabilitation program helping people quit smoking. And he basically said he told the smokers to smoke mindfully. Like he told them to smoke. He's like, you guys can smoke, but I want you to like focus on what it's like when you're smoking. So he basically he had them smoke, and like they wrote down exactly how they felt. And a lot of the people, they just said smoking tastes disgusting, tastes like rotten cheese. I cough a lot, and it ruins like my voice. It messes with my breath. You know, it's like I have smelly breath. People say I stink. So they wrote down like exactly what it's like. They were completely present in the moment while smoking this cigarette, and they realized that they're not getting away from stress. They're like going to this place that is just gross. And yeah, like I think it's really important to see and really put your like spotlight on the negative aspect of this bad habit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because like you said, he made them become mindful of it. People are just kind of like robotic when it comes to these bad habits. They don't really focus on what they're doing. They just kind of do it.
Yeah, dude. Okay, you're really into food, right? Do you ever like eat
Oh
a
my
lot?
God, dude! I don't eat. I just scarf down. I inhale. Like I don't.
I know
Oh
what you
my
mean. I know what you
God.
mean. But do you ever eat while you're watching something, or eat while you're listening to something, or like eat while you're doing something else, or are you completely in the moment eating this food?
Never. I'm never in the moment, dude. I'm just. And it's gone.
That's
I inhale
Yeah.
that shit.
yeah. There was yeah, there was a study that like people who ate their food while watching TV or ate their food while driving or anything like that, doing another activity while eating, they ate 40% more. They were 40% more hungry. Like that's a large percentage, man.
Yep.
So like,
That's almost half.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Ate
like,
half.
have you ever noticed
Like
that?
for me, I noticed this, and this is something I learned while listening to the John Tesh show at Chatham. And like, what I did to counteract this, because I wanted to get onto the same diet the camera was on, the whole eating once a day thing. And what I found was I did need to break my fast early on in the morning, just quickly. So what I would do is I would have a smaller fork so that I'm more mindful of the bites, and really focus on my food as I'm eating it. Then I eat extremely less, and that's just enough to break my fast to make me not hungry and wanting to die for the rest of the day until my big meal later on in the day. And obviously
That's
not too early or not too close to the time I go to sleep, but for the same thing, it's just being mindful of what you're doing and taking complete control of the habit.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be my next thing. I'm gonna really try to focus on slowing down.
Yeah, man, do a video on it. Eat once a
Yeah.
day for 2 weeks. Try it out, man. It's actually
Eat once
crazy.
a day for 2 weeks. Oh man, yeah. You know what? I'll do it. Let me put it in my little notes.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But yeah, like a lot of people, they look at people who are having trouble with their eating, and they're like, "Oh, how dare you!" Like, there's people who can't even get a meal tonight, or who can't even go and get a glass of water, and you're just like binge eating. But
Yeah.
in reality, like that's we're made to binge eat. Like we're created to get as much as possible because scarcity, right? We're evolutionary wise, we've evolved through scarcity, through famines, through all these things.
Really?
So when food's there, you have to grab it. Like there's this evolutionary will that completely overrides your brain and just takes the chocolate cake, shoves it in your mouth. Like that's just what happens. Same
Wow.
thing with the sexual thing. Same thing with pornography. Like your
Yeah.
brain, it has evolved to need this, to like bang like rabbits, because we need to just you know what I mean, we need to reproduce. It's just how things are. Like I read a thing, and he said we are 1% different than we were 10,000 years ago. 1%
Wow.
different. So we're 99% the same people that we were 10,000 years ago. And like we didn't, things like this, toilets are unhealthy. Sleeping with a pillow is unhealthy. Things like sugar, like concentrated sugar, is unhealthy. Eating more than once a day is unhealthy. Because these are all new things that we never had 10,000 years ago, because we're
Yeah,
meant
Right.
that's where we belong, basically. That's where we come from. So there's
Right.
just a whole host of these bad habits that we have, not because it's us. I want our listeners and everybody here who's listening live to realize that it's not you. Like, you're not the problem here. It's something that you have to overcome. It's like, it's not your fault. You're not a fat ass, you're not a lazy asshole. You're just a person who's struggling as a human being.
You're a victim to your own mind,
Absolutely, man.
your own evolution.
So,
Dude, with that, damn, like, I didn't know any of that. All you just hit me with? I didn't know the unhealthiness of pillows or the toilet thing.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, like, just like the angle that we shit is apparently unhealthy.
You used the word shit and piss in this podcast so far. I am impressed with your... Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, man, it'd be awesome to get you back on this podcast sometime in the future.
Yeah,
I'm running a comedy channel with this guy. We're just doing comedy skits, some stupid like gaming stuff. Like
I saw your Happy Wheel video.
Oh, did you?
Hilarious.
Yeah. We're starting that back up. I just love comedy. I love making people laugh, and that's what I love about your channel too, man. Is like you actually incorporate some wit rather than just like sitting there being all serious and reading a script or something. That's why I think like your channel has mad potential, man. And all our listeners, man. I think we got Shelby, Sanat, Rachel, Frank, Alex. We got all these people in the podcast listening right now. Go check out Positive Hassan for sure. This guy's going places with his channel. A lot of cool stuff. You guys, you might start cold showering after you see it. It's cool. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add on habit forming? Any essential thing when it comes to getting rid of bad habits, forming good habits, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's to take action now because the chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. So, you might not feel that cigarette addiction now, and you might think like it's not, anything too crazy harmful until 2 years down the line and you're like, God damn, I can't like drop this cigarette. I'm super addicted. So I think it's important to take action now before, like I said, until they're too strong to be broken.
I couldn't agree more, man. Like, my mom is a prime example. I call her out all the time on this because it's just funny. I love you, Mom. She, last year, it was, October. She's smoking again, right? She quit for a few years, started smoking again. Just the environment got her involved, and it just happened, right? Started smoking again. And I told her, I was like, Mom, it's October, like, what the, or I didn't tell her it's October. Mom, here's the month, so quit smoking. No, I told her, I was like, Mom, like, quit smoking, it's not good for you, whatever, the normal son thing, I care about her. She's like, no, I'll quit on New Year's, and this was last year. She is still smoking.
You'll never quit if you keep procrastinating.
Exactly. I'll quit on New Year's, you'll never quit unless it's now.
It also goes to what you were saying earlier about if you're an unhealthy person, then like overweight, of course. Like all you have to do is become a healthy person today. Like again, if you keep procrastinating, say, "Oh, I'll eat better soon," or once I know more about it. It's just that if you just take the initiative to do it right away, that's the first step to actually making progress.
Absolutely,
Even if you fail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You will fail most of the time. Like it just happens.
Like 100% of the time. they teach you in business school to fail as quick as possible, just so you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Like 100% of the time, you will fail.
Yeah, man.
But that's step one.
I think people also need to set themselves up for success rather than setting themselves up for failure. As an example here, like they're trying to lose weight, but they're hanging around a bunch of people. They're in a kitchen. They're in a house full of junk food. Like set yourself up for like what I did when my parents were on vacation for an entire week. I just wanted to fast, right? Not an entire week. It was like 3 days or something like that. But it was tough, right? It was a tough fast. 3 days. I took a tie. Like a normal suit and tie kind of thing. I wrapped it around the handles of my fridge and I shut the fridge. I'm never opening this fridge because it's literally a habit to just go up to the fridge and open it. Like little things like that trigger you to grab the almond milk and take a sip. Like
out of boredom.
Out of boredom, exactly. You're walking by, you don't know what you're doing with your life. You see the fridge, you're just like, why not? So set yourself up for success rather than like surrounding yourself like. the best example, man, is being, just me, skinny guy, whatever, lanky, like I don't work out that much. And I'm hanging around 5 bodybuilders. They're my best friends. They work out each 2 hours a day.
Oh.
I guarantee you, I will get some motivation to just like work out 5 minutes a day. Like
Yes,
5 minutes
we
a day will
definitely-
sound so much more reasonable at that point because I'm just around these people. So there's a lot of things that I think people can do to kind of surround themselves with the right people who want the same thing. But you don't want to surround yourself with another, like, say we're both overweight, we're both trying to lose weight. At this point, we're struggle buddies, and we give each other excuses to cheat. We give each other excuses to mess around. When really, you got to be best friends with a bodybuilder, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. No, yeah. I mean, you could tell a lot about a man by his friends.
Yeah, and his shoes.
Oh.
Forrest Gump. Little Forrest Gump plug there. So, anything else that you have to say about habits?
Yeah, I had something, but I'm kind of like blanking out. I don't know. No, I think that might be it, man.
Awesome. So, hey man, it'd be good to get you on this podcast again at some point. Maybe even on our comedy podcast. So we could have some laughs. That'll be
For
fun.
sure.
That'll be happening next year or in January. But yeah, man, guys, go check out this guy. He's awesome on the YouTube channel, man. It's good. And why don't you go ahead and promote yourself? Go for it.
Yeah, sure thing. So literally everything, like everything, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of it is just all positive Hassan. So yeah, I mean, I know you know how to spell the word positive. You might not be able to spell the other word. So my name is Hassan. So yeah, positive Hassan. Hope to see you soon.
Awesome. Okay, so any last words there, my friend?
Namaste.
Namaste.
Stay positive.
I'm just gonna roll the outro. Takes a lot of load. Alrighty. Thank you guys for tuning in. Seriously, all the people tuning in live on a Wednesday, Tuesday? What day is it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. This is a guy
December 20th.
when you're unemployed, No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the viewers, all the likes. Go ahead and share this with your friends. I just stared at the light. Share this with all your friends, and let us know what other topics we should cover. And go check out this guy's YouTube channel. Another thing, on iTunes, go check out the Leading Life podcast on iTunes. If you could just give it a 5-star review and subscribe to the podcast, that will help us more than anything. Seriously. So we will see you tomorrow. This is a daily podcast, Monday through Friday, live at 5. And yeah, we'll see you around.
All right.
I mean,
Peace
yeah.
out.